Hey, witches.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to the finale of Arcanum Unbounded from Mistborn series.
I'm trying to decide if you did that on purpose or if that was involuntary.
I was involuntary. We've been watching Stranger Things. Was that even recorded?
I think it caught the end of it.
We've been watching Stranger Things, and we're on season 3, and we just finished season 2. So Sean Astin, spoiler alert, Sean Astin's in it, and it's like when he dies, we were like making not jokes, but like we were making references to when
And
he was
hold on, pause,
Samwise.
just so I know they're the right. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sean Astin is the guy from Lord of the Rings, right? But okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Go ahead.
And earlier, and so like yesterday, I was sitting there talking about it, and I say potatoes like that all the time. I like if I if I had a tick, it would be that. Um, but we we're lazy in this house, and sometimes dehydrated mashed potatoes are just a lot easier to make. Um, and I was in the cabinet earlier, and I was like, "Man, we don't have any potatoes." And I was like, "Fuck, how we won't be able to have like easy sides or something like that." And when I opened up my phone, and it was up on Walmart, and I remembered I was gonna get potatoes, so that's when I said potatoes.
Well, that was quite an introduction to our episode.
Second
You're
breakfast.
welcome.
We're gonna watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy after
I
we
have not
watch.
watched it. I've read the books, but I've never watched the movies.
You'll probably hate the movie, so maybe you shouldn't.
Probably. I feel like that's usually the case, right? Like, if you've read the book of
um,
just about anything, the movie sucks.
Although I haven't actually, like, you know how you always hear like complaints about like Twilight versus the book and movie,
Mhm.
and how like one's shit and the other one isn't. Okay, as an adult, and I'm thinking back on it, that is some high school like that traumatizes me just thinking about like the book, and then the movie was trash. But the I
I just
haven't.
need you to know that I'm internally screaming in Harry Potter.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. um, but I haven't heard as many complaints, if any complaint, about Lord of the Rings. So,
I haven't
and
either,
then
but
you'll be
I
able.
don't know as many people that have read the books. It is on my list of movies to watch. It just hasn't been,
It's very long. It's very long.
yeah. And
It's
I
a
don't have
very
that kind of
long.
attention span.
Yeah. I remember characters and their sayings more than what happened. I have the general idea of the story, but I was
Mhm.
not necessarily young, but I was younger, and I just went in one ear and out
That's
the other.
how I am with the first Star Wars movies. Like, I've seen the first 3, and that's it. Um,
First
and
3.
that
What numbers?
the in release order. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know, is it.
so 3, 4, 6? Like the old.
Mhm.
Okay. So the fuck, what's that? What's the actors? Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't know actors.
Those
Um, but it's been, like,
those
years.
okay, so you've seen Luke Skywalker, those 3 movies. You just
Yeah.
the prequels, if you will. Hopefully your package wasn't delivered.
I don't think it was. I didn't see anybody come up to the door.
Oh, there you go. But yes. So that's on our we're gonna watch them after we watch Star Wars. But sorry, I
Nice.
got distracted with potatoes.
Potatoes. It's fine. Yeah, so like you said, part 6, Hero. Um, In this chapter 1, we get to see Kelsier's side of do you remember when Vin was, like, told to go meet this, like, informant? Then she went to go meet them, and she was like, "I have a bad feeling," and she left and did not meet the informant.
Yes, I
She was
told
like
you that,
that.
remember?
Yeah, and we were talking about how, like, that's significant.
Yeah, because we talked about it
Yeah.
when it was Hodor. Hold up.
Hold on. Wrong, um, wrong franchise. So, try again.
Hodor?
I think
Ah,
so?
he's the drifter in,
Yeah. Correct. He's the drifter, and we
Hoyd. Hoyd.
Hoyd, that's it. "Hi, Odin.
Hoyd.
Do you have fun at the park?"
Hoyd
"Hi,
is
baby."
the drifter, and
Yeah,
she
and so we
had,
see
like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like, I don't like this gives me a bad feeling," and she's like, "I'm gonna go."
yeah, and what we find out is that Kelsier was there, and he was like, Vin, that man's trouble. Don't approach him." Um, but I remember thinking that was significant when we read it the first time.
Yeah, because it
Like,
was
when we
like,
read it in Hero of Ages,
well, because it was like, "Who is that person? Why does she feel like this?" Um,
right? Like, why is this significant?
yeah, and that be why.
That would be why.
But so
I only wrote one other thing about this chapter, and it's at the very end of the chapter. Um, because Ruin comes and is talking to Kelsier.
I just love how Kelsier thinks or believes that he can just punch anything that is in front of him, whether or not he can.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
just gets so pissed off at Ruin. And I mean, Ruin deserved it. Ruin's sitting there like, "Oh, it's so cute that you think you can do this or whatever," because he's
You thought
following
this
Vin
was all your
around.
idea.
Yeah, like he's essentially trying to get Vin's attention to kind of like get a hold of her and tell her like what to do, how to do stuff, whatever. Um
Yeah.
and he's just like, "You thought like this was your idea, like to recruit Vin, like you think you were original or whatever." And Kelsier's like, "That's the thing. Ideas are never original. Only one thing is." And he goes, "Oh yeah, what is that?" And Kelsier goes, "Style." And then all of a sudden he goes in with a punch. Misses, of course, but he attempted it nonetheless.
Yeah. And yeah, because it says he punched Ruin across the face, or he tried to. Um, because, Ruin can just like basically apparate.
Yeah. He doesn't have a physical body at this point. And I wonder if that's
Right.
because he doesn't have the adium.
I think so. At least that's my understanding or my interpretation.
I mean, whenever we
Um,
say body, I mean, maybe when we were reading the book, like when we were saying body, that's kind of what we understood it, or we didn't understand it as that. Like we thought, oh, this must be the power. This must be like what he needs. And that's when they like say, quote unquote, the body. So perhaps if it's not necessarily the like the physical sense,
right,
um,
like not actually his corporeal
but like
self.
following along in the background here, it kind of makes me think that it actually is his body. And if he were, in fact, able to get all of that, he would be able to like manifest himself more in the physical realm without like piercing people.
Yeah. But nope. And he hits back to Kelsier. He like I don't even know. He has this like needle-like black spikes that pierce Kelsier, and he screams and
Oh,
falls to the
tendrils
bottom.
is what they call them. Tendrils. Like spider,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And preservation shows up and goes, "You deserve that." And Kelsier goes, "Sure did. It was worth it." And that
But
is
that's fine.
chapter 1.
And that's when we start
So,
revving up.
yeah, chapter 2, the only thing I wrote about chapter 2 was that it's incredibly interesting reading it from this point of view. Like,
Yeah, like
sometimes reading the stories from different like the for we were talking about Twilight, for example. The Twilight, like, from Edward's point of view was, like there was, like, 1 or 2 extra scenes. It was the same fucking book just from his point of view, which was
the
cool, I
same thing.
guess, but it was not any new information, really.
Mhm.
This was, like, a whole new story.
What I really like is it makes us think in a different way. So, like, all of the items that we, like, discussed, we were like, "Oh, this could be, the reason this character acts this way or does this specifically. This could mean a bigger thing later on." Like, we're trying to get ideas and how to effectively, like, put put them together and understand the story. And now that we're, listening to it or reading it from this angle, it's like, "Oh, wow, like, I didn't even think of it this way." Because like, we also get to see Spook in this chapter, and not that Spook wasn't, like, a favorite of mine or something that I, like, got excited for. His little angsty moments just really kind of annoyed me, and that's just my personal thing. But I do like that we get to see a little bit more of him this time round.
Yes.
But he did talk about, so he's, like, kinda going through, like, everybody in their, like, quote, unquote, "souls." So well, that scared the fuck out of me. That scared the absolute fuck out of me.
Unrelated, but
Don't
while you're
do
checking
that.
on that,
It's just whoever
I
shut the door.
just I just sent you a video, a very short, like, 6-second video of this candle that I was telling you about, the Phoenix Fire candle. Um,
Mhm.
it's, like, boiling around the wick, and it's got glitter in it, and it's, like I don't
Oh,
know,
I
it looks
see
really
the
cool, so
glitter.
I sent you a video. Yeah, like,
That's cool. There it is.
it looks really cool. Anyway, yes, and
Lestiborn
then
is.
yeah. We
He
also he sorry, go ahead.
no, he's seeing everything from, like, a different angle, so he sees who's sitting on the throne in Luthadel, which was weird because, like, obviously we know that Penrod was left for Luthadel and he killed himself, but he said that, he sees inquisitors listening with heads raised toward Ruin's voice, Vin in the creature's shadow, a man he didn't know sitting on a burning throne and watching Luthadel, a twisted smile on his lips. And it's like, is that Penrod? Like, is that
Maybe.
Penrod or is that somebody afterwards? The There's just like no timing on this, so it's very hard to figure out who is who. But then he sees Lestibornes or Spook, and how he wore a burned cloak that seemed too big for him, and Ruin crouched nearby whispering with Kelsier's, like, body, and I shit you not, I was so hoping at one moment he would be like, "I'm gonna go talk to him. He's gonna, like, believe in me," and, like, we kinda get that, but I was hoping that all the times that it was Ruin, that it might, I don't know, be
Kelsier instead.
Kelsier, like,
Yeah. The other interesting thing in this chapter too is that Kelsier learns that Colossus are humans. And
mhm.
he learns it in a different way because he sees the Colossus die. And so where we're at now is when um the catapults or whatever, trebuchets, whatever they are like throwing rocks onto the Colossus army, Ellen's Colossus army. And as the Colossus are dying, human souls are popping up in the beyond or whatever this place is called, the cognitive
Yeah,
realm.
and there's
And he's
people
like, "What the
in
fuck?"
there's, like, obligators, there's noblemen, there's ska, there's other people, like, there's all kinds of people, like, becoming these things, and I was hoping that we'd see, like, who Human might have been, like, not that he died, but, like, I was hoping
Yeah.
that there would be, like, a moment in time that we would be able to look at him and see, "Oh, I see the shape of this soul, the soul is" I don't know, I was
Do
hoping
you
it
think
was
we will
Docs.
eventually?
I doubt it.
I'm just
I don't know
like,
if there's still, um I don't know if there's still sentient beings in the second.
"Oh, right, because the next one is, like, a different planet, isn't it?"
It's the same planet, it's just
Oh.
after, Sazed makes it the way it should be.
Oh.
So, like, when the Lord Ruler actually like, before he came to be, what Earth or that planet was like.
Hmm.
So, I know he offered I don't remember anything about the Koloss, but I know he offered the, Kandra to get their, like, opportunity back.
Hmm,
But I was just hoping that maybe
interesting.
he'd get close to human and look at him and it'd be
Yeah,
like Docs or something.
I was
It
too.
was
Spoiler
it
alert,
was
he doesn't.
just yeah. It just seems so not a missed opportunity, but it just like the one Koloss out of like hundreds of thousands,
That was, like, significant.
like manages to tell you like his secret and how to make them and how to make more and like fighting against himself.
Yeah.
Like, it would be amazing to have it be docs, like or clubs, I don't care, somewhat.
Yeah, either one.
Somebody, goddammit. But no.
No, and that's all I had. Well, I guess the only other thing that was significant really is that preservation tells Kelsier, like, "You can't save me, but you can save her." Um, but he says, "You have to tell her that she must not trust dot 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 pierced by metal. You must free her to take dot 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 my power." So,
Mhm. Then
but the
he
problem
just
is that fucking
ruined
Ruin won't let him anywhere near Vin, so he's like, "How am I gonna
and
do this?"
then I was like, he could just go to Marsh and tell him
Yeah, or
because
Spook, or
I was hoping it would be Marsh just because I felt like maybe he'd have more of a connection with him,
I
but
literally did though for chapter 3, because that's kind of the vibe that I got was that he is gonna tell Marsh,
mhm.
because he's trying to tell just random people that are touched in the head and can hear him, and
Yo,
it's not
madmen, yeah.
working because they are touched in the head. Like, hello. So he, he does realize that he needs to go find Marsh, or that's what he thinks he wants, who he thinks he needs to go find.
Mhm.
And I didn't even realize that it was Kelsier that told Marsh about the spikes and like that you can't trust people with the spikes because Marsh is ultimately the one that rips out Vin's earring.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't realize that Kelsier was the one who like initiated that.
See, I didn't either. I mean, it made sense in the book because Spook ended up ripping his out or figuring it out, like, this
Yeah.
was why. So I was just like, "Oh, that makes sense, okay, and then this is how we go." And then Marsh internally sees it, and then he's like, "Oh, here you go, Vin, like, I got you." But
Yeah. Well, and like I feel like it was really poetic too because Marsh has always been this like I don't know, like man on the inside kind of vibe. Like he went to the obligators to infiltrate them. And even though he's like being controlled by
he
Ruin right
does all
now,
of this
he is
for
still a
but
double
not for
agent.
glory. Yeah. He does
Yeah.
all of this, but not for the glory. He, like
He's like Kelsier's opposite.
yeah, Kelsier does it to get his name out, to do these things. And Marsha's like,
But Marsha's just
yeah.
doing it because it's the right thing.
Yeah, which is
But yeah,
very
that's
sad,
literally
but,
all I
you
wrote
know.
for chapter 3 because chapter 3 was really short.
Um, I just Kelsey's comedy or, like, the comedic person and, like, one-liners that he has
Mhm.
just really are my favorite. I don't care who you are, I don't care what anybody says, like, that shit is my favorite. I will lose my mind, like, watching Stranger Things. Steve Harrington has a lot of great one-liners. Fucking love them, love it. But like he said, um, Ruin puts his hand on Kelsier's shoulder and he goes, "Careful, you'll get you on me." And it's just it's like it's a subtle fuck you.
It's like, "Okay, dick."
Yeah, and it's wonderful. I love it. It makes reading a lot more fun for me, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very valid.
Now, chapter 4,
Chapter 4. Chapter 4, I
Preservation
so we
dies.
he does. We see Preservation's death from Calcio's point of view because in Hero of Ages, we still see that moment where the body, like, falls out of the mists, but no one
Mhm,
sees it happen. Um, but seeing it from Kelsier's point of view, Kelsier is, like, formed a relationship with this person or this being, and they it's like his only friend right now, basically, because no one else can talk to him or hear him.
mhm.
Um, and so he kinda loses it a minute, like,
He starts thinking he's
when
alone by himself again.
yeah, and so when Preservation died, like, I did not expect to cry, but I was tearing up during this.
I
Like
know, I knew he died, it hits differently
right.
because you kind of
Yeah.
form a relationship with him, and you
Yeah, we get more
are
of his
along for the ride,
personality.
yeah, with Kelsier, so, like, he's given him, like, humanity.
Yeah.
But, 'cause he gives humanity to others.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
sad.
Um,
Um,
I only had one real thing to, like, comment on in this entire chapter just because it was, like, he's starting to lose himself, and Preservation, his one last final, like, goodbye was basically telling Kelsier to knock it off and get his, like, shit back in order. Um,
mhm.
and basically he wasn't supposed to take like, he obviously wasn't able to become Preservation. He broke what is it? He broke the little glass orb thing that he was carrying and washed himself with the glowing substance inside. So he is a god now. Um,
Yeah.
but he couldn't actually grip Preservation's power, obviously because it wasn't meant for him. Um, but there is so he's like learning a lot of different things. He's seeing things like from a whole new perspective. And there's a comment here where it says, um, a memory of a man holding the power will never be as potent as a real one with ties to all three realms. So Ruin says that to him. And it makes me think all three realms are the Irie, the Drifter, the two people that we see. Like, obviously, they're not of this realm, they're not of this world, they're from someplace else, but all three realms. So the physical, the cognitive realm, what's the third realm? And
Yeah.
is that other planets, like visiting other planets? Does he go to these other planets and he sees, and he gets that third realm? And, like, the Kelsier just he just doesn't give up. He sees a challenge and he's like, "Cool, I'm gonna try that." And then he just goes for it. So, like, the fact that Ruin said ties to all 3 realms, I can just see the clock in his brain counting down the moments to when he finishes his first task that he was working on, and then he's gonna go do whatever the fuck Ruin just told him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with the drifter coming out of the cognitive realm and going into the physical realm, is the drifter or Hoyd, is he doing the exact same thing that what's his face is trying to do?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. The only other thing, I didn't write anything about it, but the only other thing I thought about was, so basically, um, he's trying to talk to Vin and Ruin keeps pushing him back. And then he tries to talk to Marsh and he doesn't Ruin doesn't let him talk to Marsh, but he hears thoughts emanating from Marsh, and he can hear Marsh saying, "Remember yourself, fight Marsh, fight, remember who you are." Um, so Kelsier is like, "Okay, I'm going to avoid this. I'm going to avoid a fair fight. The con was on, and when the house guard was alert, your best bet was to lay low for a while." So since Ruin was watching Phaedrix so intently, Kelsier is going to focus elsewhere.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's kinda like when what Marsh said, he has a little bit of, like, the old Marsh seep through at times, and he has to take it when he can.
Yeah. So at first I didn't understand when he said the con was on, but this wow, like this just all comes together so well, and we learned that like Kelsier orchestrated all this shit. So like chapter 6 and 7 kind of go together. Chapter 6 is wait, chapter 6 or chapter 5? Chapter 5
I was gonna say, "Hold
is
on, I didn't say everything for chapter 5 yet."
chapter 5 is Kelsier going to Spook.
Mhm, mhm.
And he's
And he's gonna put his plan into action here.
yeah, and he is actually talking to Spook now. So where at first it was Rowan talking to Spook, and then Spook figured it out and took his spike out. Now Kelsier is talking to Spook and
Mhm,
touching
mhm.
Spook's soul.
And he talks about having the connection, like a really strong connection to Spook, like the lines of connection that he talks about. Um,
Hmm.
Connection is capitalized again. And
Yes, I wrote that too.
despite the lack of other gods in the area, I wonder if all gods are connected to like make humankind in some way.
Maybe.
So like maybe connection is not like one true, or maybe it's the shard that like connects all the shards to like the original
Yeah.
being
Well, I
that.
know that like the Irie were also talking about using connection.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
But yeah, it's capitalized again, and it's like, okay, but is connection like a shard that everybody else is a shard of? Or is that like the shard that completes the picture for everybody? Like if everybody brought each other together, like shard wise together, is that the final piece to the puzzle?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. So I don't have anything else for chapter 5, though.
Um, I have some at the very end. So this is where Spook kind of like almost
Walks through the
dies.
fire.
Yeah, like we don't know if he survives or not until like a couple of chapters later. Um, but like Spook's having that like woe was me kind of feeling, like not that it wasn't he's just having some very bad self-esteem right now, and, like, Kelsier's like, "I love you, like, I named you, I chose you, like, you were made for this, like, you have your purpose, you're not just somebody that, like, was brought along," um, and, like, said, like, "You were my friend, isn't that enough?" Um, and Spook is, like, kinda going in and out, basically, and then Kelsier's crying and getting upset. And it's like, you gotta do what you must do, I'm sorry." And then that's when Spook pulled from the grips of the others, and as Ruin raged above, sputtering and screaming, finally bringing in his attention, to begin forcing Kelsier back, this young man entered the flames and then saved the city, and it's like, and survived he did.
Yeah,
Because,
and Kelsier calls him Survivor.
Survivor. Yeah. So ugh, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful ending for
Um,
Spook.
but it
Not that he
wasn't the
died or
end.
anything, but, like,
Yeah, because then chapter 6 is, like,
the
Kelsier's,
start of the
like not
weeping.
Kelsier. Yeah, Spook is kind of in, like, a coma, kind of, while
He's,
he's
like, near
healing.
death because he went into the
Yeah,
burning building.
and so he is with Kelsier, and Kelsier tells him, like, "You
I
have
thought
to
this
get
was a
this note."
memory. I, like, read this
No.
over and
Oh,
over
when you
again.
started reading it?
Yeah, I was like, "Did I miss something? When did this happen? When did this happen?" And I was like, "Okay,
No.
I guess I'll just keep reading. Hopefully it explains itself," and it did.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Spook, you have to remember this when you wake up. You have to tell Vin, don't trust anyone pierced by metal." Um, and he tells him that Vin is pierced by metal and that she has a spike. And then he tells him to send the message written in metal. Um, and even at this point, I didn't get it. I did not get it. I still thought that he meant for Spook to send the message and for Vin to get that message. I still hadn't put it together yet. This is why I'm like, oh my God, like he got me. This was a con for sure. Because that's all I have for chapter 6. Sorry, let me not get ahead of myself again.
No, you're good. I was like, crying face, bless what he said. "You did well, Spook. I'm proud." And it's like,
Yeah. It was like
and
a really
it's
sweet moment for them.
yeah, because he can actually hear him and see him and actually
Mhm.
feel how proud Kelsier was of him.
Yeah.
Where before he just assumed Kelsier didn't care, but it's like Kelsier in the flesh, not Ruin, actually talking to you.
Yeah. And like I think that that was probably instrumental too in Spook waking up and being ready to lead the new world because he's basically like Ellen is dead, Vin is dead, Spook is the new leader because Seiza's
Mhm.
a god. So like
He can't do it.
it's down to Spook, right?
And
And I
Spook,
don't think Seiza
like,
would be a good leader
fell.
anyway.
No, no.
That's not what he's meant
Spook
to be.
fell straight into the role back in Utero or whatever.
Yeah.
Just tell Brittany not to answer the door.
I don't think it's the delivery man. Sorry, I'm waiting on a package, and it's Brittany's birthday present, so I'm, like, really watching. Anyway, um, so chapter 7 is Gordell leaving Ur 2 and coming to deliver this message, and we see Marsh come, and so Ruin is like, "Ha, ha, ha, I win, you lose, you suck, blah, 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 blah." And Kelsier is like, "Do you know why I always won at card tricks?" And he's like, "Does this fucking matter?" Like, Rowan is so cocky right now.
Well,
And
and that's
he
the
said,
same
"It's because,"
that Vin did to him.
yeah, it is. He's like, he played right into their hands. And Kelsier goes, "It's because I could always force people to choose the card I wanted them to." And this is Vin and Marsh are fighting right now. So Marsh has already gotten the note from Gordell. He read it. He read it aloud so everyone could hear it. And now Marsh and Vin are fighting. And as soon as he says, I could always force people to choose the card I wanted them to, Ruin paused and looks at the fight, and Marsh rips out Vin's earring. And this part too was really like, I liked this part. He says, Kelsier says, "You made the wrong one of us into your Inquisitor, Ruin. You shouldn't have picked the good brother. He always did have a nasty habit of doing what was right instead of what was smart." And then Vin takes the power, and Ruin, like, tears Kelsier apart.
Yeah, because he's pissed. And he's
Yeah.
trying to give up the power without losing himself.
Yeah.
But it's painful because obviously Ruin's ripping him apart. And I never even thought, I was like, why is she like sucking in the like mists now? Like, why was she never able to do that before? And now, like, reading it, it's not because she just randomly sucked in the mist. It was literally Kelsier purposefully letting it go to give to her, which is really nice. Uh-oh, I lost Brandy. Well, good thing we're almost done. So yeah, that was chapter 7. Uh, chapter 8 is when I started getting real sad. Um, so Kelsier is essentially, it's like the aftermath of Ruin, um, trying to rip him apart. And he's trying to stop the pain. He's trying to like kind of figure out where he's at. He's in the mist area. Oh, there you are. Hello.
So listen, I'm
You like
klutzy.
froze and that was then.
I went to pick something up, and the corner of my keyboard has a sleep button. And I went to pick something up over there, and I hit that button. So my computer went to sleep, and I got disconnected. Anyway, what were you saying just now? Where are we at?
uh I just started talking about chapter 8
Yeah.
and how he's in this world of mist. He is kind of trying to recollect himself after surviving Ruin's attempt at like ripping him apart. Um he it finally like it faded away from him, and he is not necessarily a deity anymore, but he is still like ascended in some way. So he's still alive, he's still kicking. And he sees the um what is it? Because time had passed. So now he's seeing like essentially the final battle between like Elend and Marsh and
Yeah,
everybody.
he's seeing the
Um
ATM mistings.
yeah. So he's like, "Oh, that's
Preservation
wonderful. That's
plan.
great. All of this." Mhm. He's seeing it fully. He's seeing it, it's getting through. They're burning it up just like he wanted. Um, and then he, what is it? Where is it? Oh, so they finally see all of the movement, not the movement, sorry. They finally see all of the stuff happening. He's seeing the final fight between Marsh and Elend, and then he sees Elend get Marsh in the neck, and then he sees Marsh's axe land in Elend's chest, and he is pissed. He's upset. He stumbled over running for Venture he climbed over and scrambled towards him as he died, and he, like, is upset for Vin. He is like, "Oh, Vin, I'm so sorry." Um, and, like, because of that, because he did that and allowed Marsh to kill him, Vin lost her fucking mind.
Yeah, it was like one of those, like,
She
she then, like,
rose in power,
yeah,
basically, is
like,
how he
almost like
described
having
it.
adrenaline. Like, she was like, what the fuck? And now she's like, now you have to die. And, like, she had nothing left to lose. So she put it all out there.
Yeah. And
Then Ellen comes into the cognitive realm.
and it's so funny because he never actually got to meet Kelsier. He sees and hears things about Kelsier,
Yeah.
the survivor of Haths, and all of these different things. Then he finally meets him, and he's like, what is it? I always imagine, or Ellen goes, I always imagine death as being greeted by everyone I ever loved in life. I hadn't imagined it would include you. And it's not like he ever, like, it wasn't like he's being a dick about it. He's just saying that. And then he goes, You need to pay better attention, kid. Nice uniform. Did you ask them to make you look like a cheap knockoff with the Lord Ruler, or was it more of an accident? And he goes, Wow, I hate you already.
I love them. I commented on that too. I just love their immediate like dynamic is just wonderful.
It wasn't like it wasn't bad. It was a playful banter. And he's just like, Yep, give it time, kid. It'll go into a mild exasperation. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that's where that's probably where like that moment is what Ellen finally probably understood by what Ham or Docs or everybody else was just like, yep, Kelsier. Like,
Yeah, like the exasperation.
yeah,
Um, there is also a moment where they're talking about Sazed because at this point, Sazed takes in both powers.
yeah,
And Kelsier's like, oh my gosh, it's him. He's the hero. And he's like, how is he connected to them both so evenly? Connected is capital again. Um, why not just preservation? And Ellen says he's changed a lot this year. Ruin is more than just death and destruction, it is peace with these things. And I was like, this is like Brandon Sanderson is a genius, first of all. We already knew this. But like connecting all of that back together, like Tindwyl had to die so Sazed could make peace with her death so he could be the hero of
make peace
ages.
with
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Like it was just so well done. Yeah, I literally wrote that. I wrote, um, I am not emotionally stable enough for all of this. Because then on the next
Oh man,
page,
I fucking lost it at the end. Oh my
yeah,
God.
because so Vin then shows up in the cognitive realm. Um,
Yeah, because she passes. And I fucking tell you what, they held each other. They hugged. They did all these things. And it's like,
he held
you
his
always
daughter
did.
close
Like,
against his own broken soul.
because be fucking cuz. Like, this was a child he wanted
Yeah,
and never got with Mayor.
yeah.
This was a child of the streets. This was his kid. And she loved him. Like, she was so sad when he left, and she like barely even knew him. And it's just like he held his, like, first of all, I said no crying.
Right? Okay.
How dare you barely even go through 2 pages without it happening continuously. And then um what's really sad too, and it just like continues on like the sadness train, is like Sazed shows up and basically tells Ellen, and Ellen's starting to
Oh, wait,
stretch.
hold on,
Like,
pause. Before that, before that. Because they're having this sweet moment, right? This sweet, sweet moment. And he's like, you did it. You did what nobody else could have done. And she's like, well, I had such a good example, and this is all so sweet. And then all of a sudden, Ruin's vessel, AT, pops
oh, I forgot
up
about that.
and he's looking around and he says says Vax, which I'm guessing was preservation. Um, but he's like confused and he's looking around, and Kelsier goes, "Excuse me," walks over to AT and just punches him in the face and lays him out. And I'm just like, "Yep, that's Kelsier. Yep." And then he turns around and walks back over to Vin and Ellen and looks up at the sky and the glowing figure there, which is Sazed. And now we're back to where you were. Go ahead.
Okay. I forgot about that. This whole part was so emotional. Didn't even register. Like, I remembered it and I laughed. Didn't even register the rest of it. But then looked at Ellen. To Kelsier's horror, he had begun to stretch out. He turned toward something Kelsier couldn't see, something beyond, and smiled, then stepped in that direction. And then Sazed goes, "Thank you both for this new beginning. I have healed your bodies. You can return to them if you wish." This bitch knows if you can return to them or not. He fucking knows. There ain't no lying to him. And Vin goes, "I don't think so. I don't think it works that way, Says, but thank you." And Kelsier loses it. He's like, "No, you can't leave. You have to stay with me. Like, please stay with me." And like, he's starting to cry. And he's getting upset. And it's not like he's mad. He's just, he doesn't want to be alone. And like the fact that his daughter, or someone he considered his daughter, is now in his arms and he has physical hold of her, like that parental prerogative of "I have to protect you" kicks in, and he's losing it. And she goes, "Kelsier, you have a lot to learn about love." And he goes, "I know love, Vin. Everything I've done, the fall of the Empire, the power I've given up, that was all about love." She smiled. "Kelsier, you are a great man and should be proud of what you've done. And you do love. I know you do. But at the same time, I don't think you understand it." Yeah. She turned her gaze toward Ellen, who was vanishing, only his hand and her still visible. "Thank you, Kelsier," she whispered, looking back at him, "for all you have done. Your sacrifice was amazing. But to do the things you had to do to defend the world, you had to become something that worries me. Once you taught me an important lesson about friendship. I need to return that lesson, a last gift. You need to know, you need to ask. How much of what you done was about love, and how much was about proving something, that you hadn't been betrayed, bested, or beaten? Can you honestly answer, Kelsier?" And he's like staring at her and was like, "I don't know." And she squeezed his hand and smiled, that smile she'd never been able to give when he first found her. That, more than anything, made him proud of her. And she whispered, "Thank you." Then she let go of her hand and followed Ellen into the beyond. And I tell you what, there was a chance for them to come back. And the fact that they did it and they chose to just leave the world as is.
Honestly, fucking relatable. Like, their teens and early 20s, they spent like working so hard saving the world, and now they're like, deuces, like, I'm done. I don't want any part of this anymore.
Yeah, like the world's a better place. We did what we wanted to do. We protected them, and then that was it. And it's like,
I'm done with it. Bye.
It's just insane. And like crying.
Yeah. And then
but I didn't give a shit about chapter 9 after that.
Well, okay, but chapter 9 was one of those chapters I read it and I was like, all right, what do I read next? What the fuck? Like, because
I know, I was ready to like keep flipping a page. I had to go to a different book, and I was like, now I can't get into it.
Yeah, so like, he's like, the beyond, it says it's like the beyond is a place I can't reach. I can't bring them back. And he's like, it's all right. Well, you see what you can do for Spook, fix him up, maybe make him a Mistborn. And it says, I'll consider it. And then he says, what do you think, Says? Is there a way for me to get out of this and live again in the physical realm? And Sazed said, no, I do not think so. And pats Kelsier on the shoulder. And Kelsier goes in his head and he goes, he holds the powers of creation in twain, a god among gods, and he's still a terrible liar. So I'm like, all right, well, Kelsier's coming back. I fucking knew it. Give me the next fucking story right now.
I'll tell you what short you gotta read next.
What short or what book? Do I need to start the next trilogy? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll start now and then reread it when we come
The
back.
next 7
I
books.
don't care. I'll reread it. I'll read it now and then reread it when we come to do it on the podcast
Okay.
because I need to know what the fuck is happening. And then there's an epilogue. And oh wait, no. Oh, the epilogue is
Yeah.
Spook. Um, in the new world and
Oh, I loved this
yeah,
part. Like the epilogue part of it. That was so cool. I loved it.
yeah, and it's Kelsier's like, um, Kelsier says, while I was dead, I had my mind expanded and I learned some things. My focus wasn't on these spikes. I think I could have worked it all out if it had been. I still learned enough to be dangerous, and the two of us are going to figure the rest out. And Spook is like, whoa, I'm not your lackey anymore. Like, hold up. Um, and Kelsier's like, the Lord Ruler was immortal, you know, by a combination of the powers he managed to make himself unable to age, unable to die under most circumstances. Or unable to die under most circumstances. You're Mistborn, Spook, halfway there. Aren't you curious what else is possible? I mean, we have a pile of Inquisitor spikes and nothing to do with them. First of all, Kelsier. No.
We already learned the problem.
Right. And Spook's like, and you? Like, what do you get out of this? And Kelsier's like, nothing big. Just a little thing. My string has been cut, the thing holding me to the physical world. We just need to find me a new string.
Dude just won't die.
No, he's just not going to give up. He's not going to give up. And then the last thing I wrote for the postscript was I knew that this was never the end of Kelsier. Like, I did not believe ever that this was the actual end of Kelsier, and I was correct. Because in the postscript, he says, I'm very aware of character resurrection. This is Brandon Sanderson. I'm very aware of character resurrection as a dangerous trope, the balance of which I'm still trying to figure out. I didn't think this one was particularly controversial, in part because of the foreshadowing I'd done, but I do want death to be a very real danger or consequence in my stories. That said, Kelsier from the start was coming back. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. We knew it. We knew it. Okay? We knew it. We said it over and over again. And we were correct.
Kelsier's not dead.
Yes. Well, I mean, technically we were wrong
We
about
were
that.
right.
He was dead, but he's not staying that way.
He didn't go to the great beyond.
Correct.
He stayed there.
Correct. I knew it. Knew he was coming back.
Bitch.
Fucking Squilliam. I don't know, is he? Motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck you. God damn it. So that's the end of Mistborn.
Yeah. And we're going to do a
It'll
few
continue
standalones.
on in the Wax and Wayne series.
Yeah, but we're going to do a few standalones
But
first. And
I need a break from
we need a break from series.
world
Series
building.
are
Mentally and emotionally
a
alone.
lot. Yeah, so we're going to take a break and do some standalones and then come back to Brandon Sanderson at some point.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Bye.